Thanks. Welcome. Welcome to this work talk about how to consciously close intimate relating spaces, which I was discovering recently, the last month, and a lot of questions and what to do in these situations came up within me, and I realized I want to share the findings, what I found so far, what worked, what did not work, and also open the space for this discovery, because it looks like it resonates also with you, that you have still open relationships, or you want to close some, or you have these like still ghosts hanging around from the past, like old relationships, or you plan to end a relationship and you don't know how to do that. And I want to invite really that this space is for you. Like I bring in impulses and have some, of course, some practices which I want to do with you, but it brings it to fly with your questions. So first, I want to start with bringing some distinctions into the space about what I figured about how modern society, and me included, was approaching still how am I in relationship or in relating spaces with men. And there is this story modern society was creating, that we are separate, and I think probably all of you would agree that's a lie. That's only a concept which we put over something where we are energetically all connected. But still, this notion, this story of I can be separated, I can be divorced, I can separate myself from another person, I can break up something. These are the words we're using. So this is so deeply ingrained in our systems, even in our language. And probably you have different mother tongues, but in German there are plenty of words describing how to cut something into two pieces, actually. And understanding that we are connected anyway, always, and it's about shifting this space into a new relating space, makes it a completely new game. Because modern society says, okay, you can be separated, you go through a divorce or a breakup, and you really break up. Best is you don't see each other for a while. This is what people told me. It's like, yeah, I think it's good if you're separated now. Are you seeing each other? This was the question. Are you seeing each other? And I was like, yes, we are living at the same place. I was like, oh, that must be hard, right? Like people are really saying, hey, when they broke up, they ran. It was always this distance, I need to go, or the person ran away from me. So there are, of course, always these two pieces. And I wondered how this is possible in a different way, not to feed into the concept of we have to break up. That does not mean I'm not taking responsibility for shifting the space, but as we are all somehow dealing, or like as we are all researching in the field of radical responsibility, the question came to me, what would be an elegantly connected way of doing this, so shifting into a new relating space which definitely has different ingredients compared to the intimate relating space I had before, into whatever new space will emerge. So the one of my findings I want to share is that I allow, of course, like I want to add this. I'm coming from like my wounding or my inner structure is based on I have to, like I'm alone. That's one of the columns, one of the main traumas in me. And based on that, I was operating like I need to run after and keep the person. Like that is my tendency. So when I'm sharing about my own experience, this is the perspective. It's not the perspective that I need to run, like I'm leaving the back door open. That would be probably my the role of my ex-partner more than mine, of course. And therefore I also need you with your experiences and your questions, because it's a wide spectrum. It's not black and white, but it has a tendency, and my tendency was to chase the other person, which was actually leading me then to this. Okay, I want to chase. Like we broke up. We said, okay, we are closing this relationship, and something new is opening, and we don't know. I don't know what will emerge, but still inside of me, it was operating like I need to make it happen that we will come back together again. I was inventing stories to meet again. So that at the end I would show a proof, look, we are spending time together. It makes no sense to break up or to not go on with the relating space. So I kept some like this, we call it gremlin games, of course, survival strategies of um, mm, almost, yeah, creating a fantasy in myself to um, to how do you say when you wrap someone inside this theory, right, or in this fantasy, and like a trap. Yes, I think this is the right word. I created a trap so the person falls into, and it's amazing that the person is also in this call here. Martin, we're going through these phases, so I'm also eager to hear his perspective, you know. And so I try to manipulate him into a new way of relating. Even it was not the way I 100% wanted it, but still I was so driven by this. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. And I like there was this moment I realized, damn, I'm fooling myself. This is actually not what I want. I want something else. I want to relate as adults and not to trap him. So then I started my quest. And one of the quests was every time I had the impulse to reach out and have a meal together, an invitation, some proposal, I checked, what is the purpose? What is my benefit? What will I gain out of it? Is it, mm, okay, I will let this guy in. Martin is arriving. Um, is it the thing that, like, is it that I really want to have something new, which I don't know yet in the relating space? Or is it something I want to reproduce from the past? So this was again and again with little things in my daily life. I checked, what is the purpose? What is my benefit? Is this really what I want to create? And who wants to create this? And this brings me to the different ego states. Like I realized that a lot of my child ego state was operating in exactly creating these fantasy worlds within me, and creating these stories that he needs to understand that we are the perfect match, or I need to change just so that he would see I'm the best and he would come back. Like my child part was very, very creative, and also then the my gremlin part was very much punishing me. Hello, Martin. We are already in the move. And my gremlin was really constantly fighting for attention and proof that he messed it up. So there was the need of coming together, but actually what also was happening kind of parallel was that I searched the proofs that I can blame him. He was not good enough. He did not he did not fight for me. He did not want me as much as I wanted him. It's his fault. He never closed the back door. All these stories, which then gave me the permission. Yeah, I think that's a great word. The permission to punish him with being cold, for example, and being distant and saying, I need a break now. I need space. I cannot talk to him. And then these moments, sometimes I did this for 2 or 3 days, and somehow I realized it's kind of a healthy process to also really step back and say I need a moment. But at the same time, I realized I'm using these retreating moments, or my gremlin is using it for feeding the drama in me. So then what I did, I was checking, how can I actually make real contact? And then I invited for check-ins, real check-ins, not can you come and help me to repair the lamp, or would you have lunch with me? And all these little invitations were especially at the beginning, it's like I got me, like how I'd used it, and then somehow I could shift the space within me from where I was inviting. But at the beginning, it was really this survival of I need to be in contact. If I'm not in contact, I have not the proof that the relation space was even great, or like that he loved me, that we had a good relationship. So I needed to make it really working, right? And I wanna dive a bit later into the different processes what are possible. But first, like I wanna open like the space for your question, or what is resonating, what is like weird, do you want to add something? Like I want to open the space now.
Okay, I'll go because it's just so relevant. Thank you, Christine, for opening the space, and for when you're saying this thing about ghosts. like all around in my bubble, like this really resonates. And it's like I don't have the tools, or like I don't have this clear experience in my body of closing a relation. And so like I have relations open with like partners from when I was like 15 years old, 13 years old, and it's kind of like there's like this little hole or this little doorway that stays open. And it hasn't, like in the last 2 years, it's become like really, really obvious. Like my partner has been like giving, say like, you just keeping the door open. There's a wide door open there. And I'm, yeah, I'm with this question of like, I thought that I was gonna come here to learn how to close it. And that, I think that's part of it. When you mentioned about shifting the relation into a new space, it, it, it already created a new doorway that I hadn't seen before. Yeah, because this idea that it needs to be closing, like, yeah, we need to like break, because in anger practice, we practice this like cutting off, like, okay, like need to cut it off and cut off that relationship, and we're done, and that's it. We're not doing, I'm not letting you in my bowl anymore. And yeah, now I have this question of like, what else is possible? There's particular relationship that was really toxic, or it was a really enmeshed, like we're like codependent on each other. And it turned out like really painful. It was like amazing at times, and then it will turn into like this like big gremlin, blaming, avoiding space. And that went on for like a year of like really painful stuff, maybe 2 years. And yeah, like closing, I tried to close that relationship exactly a year ago, and it was a mess. And I don't know what to do. Something like,
So how did you break up? Or like how did you close or try to close? How was it? Like did you separate and then you
so
were separating also physically, did not see each other again, like the
yeah.
classic?
Yeah, so for me, like it's like kind of like these two parts, is her part and my part. And on my part, it's kind of like I say, like I'm done. Like I don't need this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And then I kind of disappear. I avoid, and I don't respond to messages. I don't, like, I just like completely avoid. And on her side, she was like continuing, like say like, hey, we need to close this, or like I want you. And so the final call, when I said like that's enough, I can't do this anymore, because it kept going, like I will keep getting hooked or something like that, or we'll keep finding each other at a certain place, and then it will kind of like start over again, very sneakily. It's like a very, very gremlin.
Yeah, and did you look at your strategies like more deeply and checked what was your responsibility in this hooking gremlin feeding frenzy? Did you do that?
Yeah,
Like particular with her, how you related with her?
yeah. Yeah, and it's like you don't fall, you don't open up for me this addiction to sex, or like this like fear of not having sex, something like that. Like it's like unconscious, like I need to have sex, or, and it's not even like we're having so much sex, but like it's like there's that hook about it, about
Hmm.
having sex and the sexuality. Uh and for me, it was, yeah, like about that, like having that available. It's an available food whenever I wanted it. Uh, and then, yeah, it unfolded. Like that was the bigger piece. There were a few other pieces, but I think
Hmm.
that was the biggest piece.
Did you ever do the sexual clean out process?
No.
That is definitely on your list. It's like
Oh,
what we do. There are two clean out processes. One is the relationship clean out process, and the other one is the sexual energy clean out process. And the difference is the orientation of the energy. It's like the relationship space is here in front of the your chest, and it's almost we are filling these relationship space with a lot of trash. Like it starts at school with all the, I don't know, Backstreet Boys posters on the wall, mom, dad, uncle, whoever, like all these relatives which we fell in love, or there was this cousin, or like this fancy one, old one, and these relationships, which we even created with fantasies, are packed into this relating space. And it's an energetic imprint. And relationships, or like relating spaces, which which were so intensely enmeshed. I would say this is also what you had, Jorge, with this ex-partner. It's like that there was this entanglement, that the roots of these relating spaces are so deeply ingrained in all our bodies. It's not only here, but here you would pull it out, and it goes even down to the toes. And it's a messy, loud process where you pull out one relationship energy out of your system, and you put it in the black hole. And it's a one-on-one, you can even book it in a one-on-one coaching session. That's also okay. And it's also offered in labs. And the same thing with the sexual energy space, but it's more than on the second chakra. Right? And it's more orientated into having sexual relating partners and fantasies. And then when the sexual energy is stored there for centuries, or not centuries, we're not that old, for decades. And this would be a really important process for you, Jorge, to clean up your space. And the consequences are the following. Like, if your relating space is filled up 80% with trash, with old trash, then you're resonating with people also having minimum full 80%. So if you, as an adult, or your adult part, wants to relate in a really intimate, 100% committed way, this is not possible, because your space is blocked. You keep your inner space not unavailable, right? And that, so especially like if you have a relationship going on, then the space will definitely change. Like if you get that cleaned, it is also about probably making a new commitment to that person, because your capacity to do this changed and was growing. So that, and that was already also on the list, and I'm glad you broke it up. You brought it up, not to broke it up. You brought it up. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That lands.
Yeah. Anything else?
I want to add to that one way I notice that I keep my relationship space full with old stuff is by keeping stuff, literally, of past relationships. And I've been going through the process of getting rid of them. And I notice how the person's energy that was related to when we were having that interaction gets also released. And I would add that as part of this relationship and sexual space cleanup, to get rid of the objects also.
Yeah. Great. Also pictures, go through your phone and check, do I still have energetic leaks in this direction? Yeah, cool. Yes, I totally agree. Also physical cleanup. And sometimes this helps to start cleaning up your energy, your energetic space more, because it's so practical. First of all, it's a good entry. And sometimes it's the other way around. It's like what you choose. Like I started more me in this phase, or like in this process. I started mainly with cleaning up my emotional body. And that is also what brings me into to the next. So that probably every so-called breakup or shifting into a new relating space, it comes with emotional healing processes. Because there are fears to lose the other person. There is sadness, emotional sadness, not being good enough, or whatever comes up. And if you not taking responsibility for them and do the emotional healing process, this door stays open. It's an emotional hook you still have with this person, because you can slip into your low drama, like, yeah, pity me again. I was again, he left me. Always me. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not good enough. Whatever, and all these doors you keep open. And then I think every one of you are really quite experienced with emotional healing processes, what they are. Or is there anything I shall add to this layer? Okay. Even this will be recorded and probably other people will see it. I think it's pretty clear. It's like if you're not taking ownership of your emotional wounds, like the emotional charge of assumptions and stories you make about yourself, about the relationship space and your partner or your ex-partner, then this will keep this space open. And I would say it's between 3 and 10, like and even more, but it's like at least there are 3 or 4. Like if you really take yourself seriously, and it's not about thinking yourself into a new space, it will not happen. And that brings me also to the next conscious space of grieving. Then I think mainly when in modern society, when a person was, how you say it in America, dumped or something, yeah, when a person was left, then they have the responsibility, or no, not the responsibility, it's logic that they are sad and they need to grieve somehow, or they are told, hey, get rid of him and or her and go to party and numb yourself. My understanding is that both parties really need to grieve, because there was something experienced between each other. A relating space was built. There are there's so many experiences and so much what was lived through together. Then if you're not grieving about it, you're not letting go. You cannot fully close the full circle. And grieving is not only sadness. Grieving includes to be angry, to be afraid, to be sad, but also to be joyful and say, wow, okay, I'm in this next wave of I'm celebrating what we had together. I'm really celebrating, because even we are going probably in different directions, there was a good reason why we choose to be together. And it was not all survival strategies. Also, our beings were attracted to each other. And to honor that the beings were together needs a grieving process. And that comes with its own timing. This is what I learned. And at the same time, I think if you're not inviting it, it will not come. If you block it, it will not come. But if you invite it, it can emerge very naturally. Yeah.
You mean the celebration? It has to be invited.
No, the grief itself, and
The grief,
there is
yes.
the grief. In the grief, there's also a part of celebration. Like when
Yes,
you,
I got that. Thank you.
yeah, yes, yeah. And I think this is one of the biggest learning, that I was so eager to say, like to tell my partner, or like to somehow arrange it that both of us can grieve. And what I see is that the grieving is also stopped and blocked if you run to the next relating space. Because it's a running away from actually what really is. And that's a huge one, I would say, especially when you want to shift it also together into a new space, which is, I think it's high level fun to consciously move a space into a new space and doing it together and grieving together. It's very delicate and joyful and painful and alive at the same time. So if you have the chance, probably it depends on your also survival strategies, or how where you are on your journey, how much you and also your ex-partner can take ownership of this transition. I truly recommend grieving together is one of the main keys. If it's possible, you can grieve, but minimum is grieve alone. Grieve not alone in your own sense that you need to be alone in a space, because there I actually recommend that you grieve in presence of a person, that your grief is visible. And it's not hidden, because what I saw is that my survival strategy, that the gremlin, when I thought like, yeah, I was sad, and then of course I was sad, but then I was alone sad, and my gremlin was taking it and chewing on it and saying, look, you can go over this. And I played smart and cool and strong. But with a person holding space for me, I was able to stay where I am, just vulnerable and soft in a way. I was not reacting. I was allowing myself to be received while I was grieving. And I learned from others who then held space for me that this was also a great gift for them. So it's not only for yourself, you're also gifting people with this new learning.
Do you mean like holding space for another to grieve? Is that the
No,
gift?
no, the
Grieving.
gift is that another person is holding space for you, but then they they also are gifted by your presence, by your grieving, by you letting go, that this is possible, you know, because only inviting it does not make it happen, right? Like opening the space does not mean that you really go into that space and use the space, and it's a precious gift. Like in this space there are so many space holders, and like I think it's a beautiful gift when I'm holding space and I'm opening the space, that the space, like that I am received, and that's the same thing, and like and that I can receive. It's like I receive you. It's like it's a gift for me as well. And so it's not only that, oh, like the drama version would be, oh yeah, they do it, and then I'm the problem, or I'm a burden. But actually you are a gift. Let's say it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You. Yeah. How does that land so far? Others? Great.
Yeah.
So then nothing is just
It's a
yes.
very
Okay,
it's a
great.
very tender very tender process, very very different from the modern way of breaking and ripping apart. I'm living something exactly almost what you've described, Christine. I'm living a change of that, relating with my ex-partner, living in the same space, and since, well, keeping in contact since December, but also struggling because no, not all the time I've had an opportunity to be held in person or show my grief, and I feel very sad that I've also grieved the death of my parents for many years by myself. So there's some emotional healing there for me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for
thank you.
also co-shaping, like it's almost, I don't have words and I don't want to find the next label, but it's almost like the Arkan way of, like, how do we do it when it's not this old program and we have no recipe, right? That's and what I see is also it's a very tender, gentle, flowy process. And one of the main ingredients is when I wanted to be in connection, I reached out and I made
Mhm.
proposals and invitations. And then I distinguished between, is this child, is this gremlin? But when there was this clear, I want to have a check-in. I really honestly want to know where you are. And I want to share where I am, so that we, from that point, so almost, yeah, I would say it became a natural rhythm, even it was not planned, but every 2, max 3 weeks, we came together and had a check-in. And then we went from there, like with an update, where he is, where I was, and also negotiate, like what do I need for the next phase. It's not forever, but for the next week probably, or the next 2 weeks, or especially like Martin and me, we are living here in the community and at the same place. Like how do we want to relate here? Like how and how we wanna, like how do I wanna, first of all, relate when I'm in the circles, when we are in the community circles, and this coming together again and again and having check-ins, and was, I think that was the main key that we are where we are after half a year. And now the next phase of divorce, like paper divorce, will come, which also is the next phase of, I think this very, yeah, I think it's also very crucial to be very precise in a lovingly way, how to do this, how to separate and like the things, how to do the paperwork, and that it's clear who does what, who's responsible for something, and that both are agreeing. I think this is also very much like that the trust which was built is not gone just because the space is shifting into a new space. It's a different space. Like nowadays I would call it, probably, even I don't like so much labels, but it comes closer to a friendship, a good friendship space, right? And I think this is super necessary to keep in touch if you want. And if you don't want, check yourself why you need space. What is the real reason why you need to run and hide and go out of connection? Yeah. I want you to let research now. I want to open the breakouts for you. So check. So Lisa and Hannah. Okay, great. And Jorge, you stay here in the main room, even there's room 4. I will do the practice with you. And the practice is as follows. Like you have 8 minutes each in checking what is the benefit of keeping the door open. Because you came here for a reason. So somehow you're keeping the door open. And how do you do this? And you're like when you're researching, your colleague is asking deepening questions. It's like, how exactly? And how exactly? Like, go a bit down and not stay superficial. I know almost all of you are pretty trained in this. So support with your love and questions the other person diving deep and get more understanding and more awareness. Okay, and you have altogether 16 minutes, and then after, or like 17 with a shift, and then you're coming back into the main space. Are there any questions?
Will you time keep?
So I made it like you have in the right corner, you have a clock. So I ask you to time keep yourself, that you shift. I will send also a message after 8 minutes, but be aware of the time also on your own.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Have fun. Great. Now here we go.
All right.
All right, you have a bit more time. That's cool. And so what is your benefit of keeping the door open, Jorge?
Mm, yeah, when I scan into it, it's like I get to be nice. I get to be the kind of like not be the asshole that closed the door. Uh, a benefit is that I it's like an open space for my gremlin to feed when he wants. It's kind of like this fuzzy space where it's not open or closed, but that yeah, where I can come into to hook to yeah to this possibility of um yeah I will call it like I will call it like I will call it like sharing my love or something like it's this doorway like oh I'm thinking of her. I'm gonna send her a message and like I have these big feelings for her, and this doesn't happen so much lately, but like right now it's like shut, like kind of like closed, and there's this like yeah, like I still have pictures of her, and there is like I gotten rid of most of the physical stuff, and there's like a few things that they're small and that they're still like kind of like have that linking, and the benefit. The other benefit is that I get to confuse myself, to stay fuzzy,
Mm-hmm.
to stay in this place where
How do you do
maybe I was
this?
wrong.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
how do you do this?
Oh, it's like I undermine myself. Like I say, like, oh, I was insensitive. I wasn't. Let me see. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm insensitive. I'm a manipulator. I'm I'm an abuser. I'm a toxic. So like all of these things that yeah that come into my space, and they create this like shock in my system that like like paralyze me, like just like create this like that yeah that's it's like like I can use that and yeah I guess yeah that like it just stops me, like it stops me in the tracks, and like it makes me question everything, who I am, who am I in relation. uh
And what is the benefit of this? Like you had the be nice guy, and then to the kind of the contrary is this toxic, where you start to beat yourself up, undermining yourself. So what is the benefit of keeping these two poles, like how they are related? When you're a bit
Mhm.
like research in this field, how they are connected.
There is a part that is about like improving, like getting better, learning from my mistakes. Um, um, mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's uh, like like healing, processing myself. That's not it. Mm, yeah, it's like this, like okay, like I have like a button that I can push at any time to stay to flatten myself down.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then I can use that at any time to just disappear, become irresponsible, like yeah, like lose responsibility, or not be in the space, withdraw. Mm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I also like yeah, like there's also this revenge part.
Mm-hmm.
I get to take revenge. I get to like fucking prove it. Like I'm the good guy. I'm still loving you. I still love you. I'm still the
So
good
the
guy.
revenge is also connected to the nice guy. Like the nice guy facade is actually a proof of
Yeah.
something. Is it something like this? Like, when you say revenge.
Yeah. Yeah, when I see it's like this revenge that I can like it's like I'm here but I'm not here. I am I love you but I hate you. I love you and I hate you. Uh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like and it's like all of this the yeah, like it's like a doorway for taking revenge. Like you didn't love me the way I wanted, or mm, you did this thing wrong. So it's like this doorway for me to like push this energy that I'm right about her being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So,
and
and
it's
what is your benefit again when you're pointing at her? Like what you don't need to do. It's also
mm,
one of the benefits.
yeah, I don't get to see in my own shed. I don't get I don't get to mm, I don't get to take responsibility for what I did and I didn't do, for what I didn't create
Mm.
in the space. Ah, yeah. So it's like I get the benefit. It's like a blinder. Like he
Mm-hmm.
just puts on a blinder that is like like say it's her fault. Like she was too crazy. She didn't do it right, or and it's like there is some things about me, but they're not so bad. It's just my unconscious, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it's kind of like protecting. Yeah, I get to protect my survival, or my how I'm still using or manipulating or controlling. So I get
So
to
how would you when you let your gremlin speak?
yeah
Like what is the percentage? What was her fault? How many percent was her fault and your fault?
yeah. So it was like 70% her fault.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was like 30% my fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good story. That's a good story to keep, like the 30-70 balance. Of course, she can only lose because you already
Mm,
win because you did
yeah.
not do less effort. Like you were, yeah, you were still nice. You were the
Hmm.
good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. And a new way of seeing is like, what is your 50%? 50-50. What would that be? Then, or the 100%, of course, like of
Hmm.
your own doing. But like when you want to go it like have it in this balancing thing, it's like 50-50. There's no right, wrong. It's only both of you did whatever it took. Like, what is your benefit? So the benefit is also to keep this super story that you're the good one. You're a nice guy, but also the good one. It's a bit
Yeah,
different, right? It's
yeah.
like I did I like I'm I did it well, something like this. Or
And like
better than her.
yeah, and that's totally it. And like I see like there is not all of it. Like it's like I get this other part that's one part of the story that yeah, I'm good, but I don't believe it. Like I don't believe that bullshit. So there's this other part that like, no, I fucked it up. I didn't create this thing. So it's like I have this other story to that I'm fucked. I'm not good. I abused. I was toxic. I wasn't clear. uh, I lied. And so it's like all this, and it goes like from one to the other,
Hmm.
and this like what creates that confusion that like oh I'm this, sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that, and for me it's like this is a pattern for me, or like a build of my character. I don't know, but maybe part of my survival strategy that I hold these two stories, like, and I'm neither of them, and I'm both of them.
Yeah. So it would be really worth researching also why you're keeping the toxic thing. Like, what is the benefit of telling yourself? Because some of the things you just said is like you taking ownership from the outside. It's like, yeah, you acknowledge what you did. You lied. You were treating her not well. That's taking ownership of what you did, and that's adult. That's your X on the map. It's like, okay, I messed up. And then the next move can be, okay, I can say sorry. Like, did you ever say sorry to her? What you already found out, like where you were an asshole?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was clear enough like that.
Hmm.
Like that.
But you did. It was like
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And also to acknowledge, okay, that's huge. I did this. I did this. Also that you come into the now. I already did this step. Okay. I messed it up and I'm moving towards something new. Oh, someone fell out.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah. We have 3
Yeah.
more minutes. I would like to jump shortly into the other spaces and check what is happening with Tamara. Oh,
Okay.
okay. See
Okay.
you in some minutes.
Okay. I'll be here.
Yep.
Just very ancient. Hello, Christine.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I think
Oh, people are dropping. Welcome back. Wonderful. I wanna have like some spotlights, some voices. What did you find out so that we can learn and get inspired of all the millions of benefits we could have of keeping the door open? Maybe there is something what another person would say, and it's like, oh yes, I'm doing this too. Thank you for bringing it up. So I want to open the space for that. What did you find out?
One thing, Lisa, that you shared was that your ex-partner still owes you money, and I went first, and so when you said that, I was like, wow, I completely forgot that, like, I have the same thing with my ex-partner. It's not exactly the same, but we both put money into this project that we were going to do together, and yeah, it was really crazy to realize, like, wow, that didn't even come to mind when I was doing this, like just how the extent to which I have like kind of pocketed that away in like its own corner, and so I don't even think about it, and yet it's there. So that was a discovery for me of like, how
And
I'm
what is the
thinking.
benefit, Hannah? What did you find out? What is the benefit of forgetting all this, right? It's like, wow, you even pushed it so far in your subconscious. So what is the benefit about that?
Yeah.
Keeping this string.
Yeah. The benefit is that I can just kind of lie to myself. Like I can fool myself about like, oh yeah, like I'm grieving and I'm going through the process, and like meanwhile I have these doors that are still open, that are keeping me from not fully being with my fear about the relationship I'm in, and what it means. Yeah, my fears about what it means if the relationship is like really truly over, and then I don't have to be with that fear because some little secret part of me is like there's still an opening there. It's not really over.
Mm-hmm. So I hear you're still hoping.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is also part of the process. Stop hoping. But besides, like dismantling the future possibilities, like take them apart. It's like what is the hope covering? Which story are you creating so that something is happening? Yeah, thank you for bringing this up. I think this is so crucial of, yeah, this hope. It's like, yeah, but someday, only if, maybe, and he will change his mind, she will change her mind, whatever. It's like this. That's a huge, huge door. Thank you. Anyone else? What did you find?
I would like to share this. There's something that emerged after we connected, Christine, and it's like I have this I know that I did wrong in the relationship, or like this idea that I did wrong in the relationship, and one of the benefits of holding that space open is that I get to keep being good, and it's like like the meme or something. It's like I'm not okay, uh, and and but because I'm acknowledging that I'm not okay, and I'm saying I'm sorry, then I am a good boy. I get to be still a good boy. I still get to be good.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. And somehow I just want to check if this is resonating. When you're speaking, it's about I need to fix it. So the benefit of keeping the door open is the possibility to fix it one day, to be a good person. Is it something like
Yes,
this?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
So,
yeah,
of course, then you need to keep it open if you still want to try to fix it.
yeah. And it's like a collection.
Yeah,
It gets into the collection. One day I will fix it. One day I will fix it.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
When
yeah,
there's nothing to fix,
yeah,
what a trap. There's
yeah.
nothing to fix. It's already over.
Thank you.
More about the
Yes.
suffering.
Would you say it again, Lisa? Maria, I did not hear you.
I wanted to know more about the suffering thing. You said that if you're suffering, then you're a good boy because you did wrong and you're suffering for it.
Yeah, yeah. That's part of it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there are different angles, right? It's like the one is the strategy, and the one, what is the benefit of keeping the door open, right? because the suffering and the good boy strategies will keep on going on. They are in your survival strategies, even the door is closed. This part you need to look at also for other reasons or other circumstances. It's not only showing up in relating spaces, right? But the benefit why you keep the door open in the back, I think this is this, I need to fix it. And you could not until now. So you need to keep it open. And this would be a super research. And maybe this is all, but it has this flavor. It has this flavor. So you can change your mind. When
Yeah.
there's nothing to fix, you cannot fix it, but you still believe you can fix it. And that's an old thing. That has nothing to do with her. Do you get that?
It's an old thing that has nothing to do with her.
Yeah, yes. Do you get what I mean by that? It's an old or a young part in you thinks that you need to fix something.
Yes. Yeah, and when it's like deeper, like it's I need to fix me too. I need to fix me. I need to fix what I did. I need to fix it. Yeah, I need to fix that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like our relating space. Like I need to fix it to
Mm-hmm.
clear it.
Yeah. I look forward to see to hear what you will find
Yes.
out, because that's so essential. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So
I discovered
oh,
a door that it's not about fixing in the future, and I just like touched the surface of it, and I discovered that when I give pleasure to myself sexually and still think of ex-partners, and I want to say that I have not have relationships and closed them like modern culture, because I have mainly been like I have secret partnerships that are not like a relationship mainly, and then they just stay open. Like we don't break up, we continue being together in some way. And what I'm afraid is I haven't felt the fear. That's what the goal that I got is, to feel the fear. And what I get that the benefit is something about telling myself the stories of worthlessness. Like is that by giving myself pleasure with them, it touches on something gremlin that we had, and I can still tell myself the stories that my gremlin wants to tell about myself.
which are?
That I'm like, it's about worthlessness. That I'm something to be ashamed of and something to be hidden, and like something that you spit on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for you probably because you're not even opening the door properly. That would be also good research for you, why you are not opening consciously the door into a relating space, which then would be like you have the door open ongoingly, right? That would be also a great question for you when what you just shared, that you are opening, like you have hidden relating spaces. No one knows, right?
Yes, not all
Yeah.
of them. The
Mm-hmm.
last one was known, and I take the question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, cool. So I want to dive into the next layer, and it will be a space, each person 15 minutes, and there are two layers. What would happen when you close the door or lose it if you're not tapping into the fear or the emotion when it's about closing? Then, oh, but what if I lose this person, which would be also like the same mechanism. And then let yourself feel and tap into that, and let yourself speak. What would happen? I feel sad because XYZ. I feel angry because I feel fear because, and you're the space holder. You're holding, you're repeating, or you're supporting. And I know that you know all how it goes. So like you feel sad because, and then you're repeating, you just make a loop. And then after about 5 minutes, you're shifting into another discovery space in yourself from the emotional body into the energetics. And then it's about that you navigate the other person into the space. How are you still linking energetically to these people, to your ex-partner, ex-partners? How you keep the connection, right? For me, it was on here on the right side. There have been 5 tentacles, like threads, almost like octopus arms, and 3 of them were already falling out through the process. I guess. I don't know. When I saw the picture, the energetic picture, 3 were like wobbly around, but 2 were still hooked. And so I pulled, with my anger, I pulled it out. This is not yet the process. For me, what it's important is that you use the emotional body to shift into the energetics and see where you are, how you do this. And it might be threads, strings, ropes, lassos, other techniques, what I don't know yet. And I'm inviting you to check how is the hook, because now you were exploring about like how you keep the back door open inside of you, but still there's like my guess, and maybe you don't have anything, but this is what I found with me, and I somehow it made so much sense, especially when there's again and again something repeating that. Same with the relationship clean out space or the sexual clean out space, that there must be some threat, even it's a tiny little thing, when you're still thinking about the person, when we are not closing the door. Are there any questions for that?
It's not a question, but a logistic is that I need to leave to go to the next space. So thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super.
Also, I have a logistics, which is I would prefer to do the exercise with a woman.
Okay. That's good. Good to know.
Me too.
So then let's go together, huh? I think it's super. I'm checking time. So it's 30 minutes. Yes. Great. So Lisa goes. Martin. Both Martins are together. Great. Okay. Super. then I will jump around and support you. And you have 15 minutes each. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have. Should I do in English whilst Christine was here, or is that
Yeah.
good?
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
What would
Spanish
happen?
would not work for me. Yeah.
What would happen, Maria, if you lose this person? If you close the door?
I would feel sad, and I'm okay with feeling sad. I feel fear of not relating with this person anymore. And I feel anger, like I have this why not? Like I want to relate with this person. And this, like, it's not clear what does that mean, lose this person. And I feel fear that it's my gremlin making me confused.
Yeah, and really tap into, like this research is definitely child ego state research, right? And allow yourself to really go fully in. Even you have all these other parts, but let yourself, fall into this. Okay, this is 100% true. I'm losing the person. I'm closing the door. And tap into this. What is then? Fear, sadness, what you just said.
Yeah, I like first is like this sadness. No,
Mhm.
I have not been creating that love relating. And Christine, I just, my gremlin came and said, what if I lose this person? And I said, finally, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have the clarity that you have been creating this relating space for the purpose of having low drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To exercise my being right and making the other person wrong and blaming.
Mhm.
And if I go deeper also, it's like, oh, it's really it's really my underworld, because I say like good tomorrow, now you know. It's like self-battering.
Yeah.
Now you know what you created for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It has been going on for 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been going on for 5 years.
I'm afraid I don't know if this is the only layer.
Yeah. You go to the next layer.
As this moment of of freaking out or being sad or being like fully, and it's like this kind of like fully in that moment as it would be a dangerous, right? So that's like it's like coming closer, like I feel sadness like coming closer to the point where I would really feel that I'm alone. I don't know what will happen. Just like this, I see like this point there. I'm I'm avoiding with different strategies, but it's like this point.
Mm.
And as a sadness and a fear, no, it just fear is a high pitched voice, and so it's a it's yet not. I don't know. It doesn't have a sound. It's like if I'm trying to push the sound, there is a
Yeah, there is no sound. Hmm. When you're shifting, like stay inside of you. When you're shifting into the next layer and you're
I'm missing
activating,
Martin. Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm speaking. He dropped out. So shift your eyes into your energetic eyes and stay connected to your emotional body, to the sadness, to the fear, what you're feeling. And how are you energetically connected to that person? How does that look like?
I know I'm okay. My first answer is no, and
What is no?
I'm there is no connection,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm checking my mind like because there are moments when there is this thinking about them, and when I think about them, it's I'm 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 calling the energy in, and what I sense is kind of was my right. What I now sense, it's my right hip,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not completely sure that.
You don't need to be completely sure, Martin. Like
Not
just
yet,
sense into
Christina,
it.
please.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, it calms itself as I would be leaving a pieces there with them. or some, yeah, this direction I would think the piece is there that
Mhm. And how do you do this?
I take piece of my energetical body and leave there with the person.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Or yeah, it's not yet. It's kind of as I would have a reminder of punishing myself how bad I was in that relationship. So I just take piece of that body out, and or I just, yeah, I make a scar.
Mhm. So the piece is a reminder of how the punishment, like a punishment, how you were in this relating space, and you take it from the
Yeah,
hip.
yeah. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm really taking it away or if I'm just, because it doesn't feel I would giving to them, but it feels that I'm doing the punishment on me
Mm-hmm.
and hurting myself. Yeah, and hurting myself. So I have a reminder how bad I was.
Mm-hmm. So that.
That I have a proof how bad I am.
And then.
That I can do it again.
What is
No,
you can do it again? What is that?
there's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please ask me the question again?
What is the reminder for? What is the benefit of keeping this reminder?
Oh, so it comes. It's
Mm-hmm.
how much I hurt. I don't know, in my past life or in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I can pay for that pain I created.
Mm. Mm. So you can pay for the pain you created. So
Yes.
that's why you always need to track or like to keep track about what.
And not about how I'm hurting people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is about the past. Like there have been partner relating spaces which you left, and then you keep the reminder from your energetic body with them. So you will pay for the pain you created. So is it a, how do you say, sensor, or what is the purpose of then How does it function better? This is the question. How does this thing gives you the information that I will pay, that the consequence is I will pay for the pain I created? Like, how does that work?
You know, as first comes, I will be reminded of the pain, and I will now be fully in my power.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not hurt anyone anymore. It doesn't make any sense because I'm hurting anyway. I don't know. It's like I don't know how I'm hurting.
So I think that it's not so much about hurting, but censoring. Like it's almost like a sensor, like it gives you information. It's almost that you're scanning something over there, and then you make your
No,
conclusions. No?
it seems we are missing each other somehow. I really don't get what you are saying that I'm scanning there.
So you said you put there a reminder of punishment that
Yes,
how much you hurt the person.
no, there as the people are scarving themselves. You know, as you have a scarves, people are making scarves with a scissor, so it feels this way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I'm not getting sensory. It's like more
Okay, so
a reminder of okay, it's as it would be ongoingly keeping me okay how bad I am, keeping me down. Ongoing the mechanism not to really come to a power or like not to
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
being this wheel around and wheel of okay, I did it bad again, okay, and this
mm-hmm,
Kolotoch running wheel.
mm-hmm. And and how do you do this? Like how are you connected to this energetic thread? Like is there you put a piece there, but how is
It's
it connected?
it's not connected.
No?
It's on a scarf on my body, scarf on my energetical body.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it doesn't feel like it would be at first thing felt like I would be giving there, but it's not connecting. Really just having a scarf
Which is missing. It's like because you gave it out.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
it's a great reference point that you're leaving almost traces. You're leaving a trace for your own punishment. And now that you are aware of it, you can do something about it. But before, I would observe this even more. Do you want to do that? Does not need to be now. It's like I think it's a longer research until that point where you say, okay, I'm done. It's I'm I'm taking them back.
No, it's like when you say it first, like if I would say yes, it's no, because there is something about me which inside needs to know the pain. I know as something before would be more fundamental way of I need to know the pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, I would again cause the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something like this way.
Yeah. And it's on the way towards that. It's the next step. That's why I said it's like you're not ready to take them back because there are steps before. Yeah. Thank you for your research. I want to hop
Go.
onto, and again, someone dropped out. Like, it looks like the internet is not so stable today.
Okay.
Maria is not there, and okay, I'm jumping.
Hello.
People, hello, the jungle. The jungle let
Yeah,
people drop out wherever.
Jungle Maria left me.
Jungle Maria left you. So you have 8 minutes. So what about diving you, and I'm holding space for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
cool. What would happen if you close the door, or if you would lose that person?
It's this thing of I feel fear that I can't create what I want from him. He has this thing which is so amazing and so powerful and joyful and like it's like pure ecstasy. And I at the beginning of the relationship it was there a lot, and then as the time went on it was less and less there, but I was always so hungry for it, like an addict. And I still am. Like I still sense that if like I close the door completely, then I won't have that. Like I feel fear that I can't create it myself. That this is like someone who, yeah, I can have this with. Um, so I feel fear, and I feel sad also because I love I love him, and I love his being, and I feel sad to think of not having him in my life, and not relating to him. He was such a big part of my life for so long. So it feels scary and sad to think about like totally closing off from him and then not being and being really clear. Being really clear and not leaving any kind of door open for him to like for the fantasy to play out that he's gonna like do all this self-development work and like secretly slave away so he can become the man that I want him to be.
Mm. Yeah, when you're shifting inwards, and close your eyes and check your energetics and tap into the fear and the sadness, what you're feeling. And somehow there is a connection between you and him, which also keeps kind of the door open.
Mm.
Mm. And how does that look?
It's from my heart,
Mm-hmm.
like a chord,
Mm-hmm.
and it's green. Yeah,
Okay. It's a
fluorescent
cord
green
going from your heart. It's green. Where does it go?
to his heart.
Mm-hmm. To his heart.
Mm.
What are you exchanging there? What is this? Why? What is the purpose?
It's like to make sure we would always be connected, that he won't stop loving me.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I have his love, and we won't separate again. I think I put it in on our first date because I had a past life process with him, and we found each other in a past life, and he died, and I made this vow that I would find him again, and we would be together. And as soon as I saw him, I had this sense that like he was the one, my soulmate, and I put it in then to keep so he wouldn't be separated from me again.
Hmm. And how does it work? What are you doing with this green rope or green cord?
It just keeps us together, so he
Mm-hmm.
can't forget me and I can't forget him. Like
So that.
it keeps us tied to each other by the heart. So my heart is closed off to anyone else, and so is his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like around my heart.
Mm-hmm. So that it keeps you together, that you cannot forget each other.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And what is the like how is it like this not that you cannot forget each other? How is this tacked on this thread?
It's just I keep his heart tied to mine.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where we go, we'll always hold back. Like, yeah, like it's not as strong as it was. And I still feel it there. It's like black around my heart and then the green tube that goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And a sense, yeah, it's not as tight as it was before. It's like loose now, the cord, but it's still there.
Yeah. So I would leave it there for now for the research, and I want to close the spaces, and then we have 60 seconds, and then we're gonna go over. And somehow the internet is letting people fall off. Also in other spaces, in other breakouts. So half of the team
Left.
is there. So I think it's like to check what is the story, like that you cannot forget each other. It's like that's a huge thing, right? It's a manipulation thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to
Yeah.
keep him tight, and it's not by free will, right? So
No,
that
there's something there that's really like, I found you again. I'm not gonna let you go.
yeah. So we are seeing us in the other space. the team shrinked, probably due to, I don't know what happened, internet problems all over the globe, from Canada to the Amazon or somewhere. Great. Tamara, how was it?
The space was too strong.
Christine, I also, oh, the internet. Christine, I also read that the session was going to be 90 minutes. And I think this is why Jorge left, because he had another appointment.
Okay, so yeah, there was a misunderstanding. There were 2 hours and then 1 hour 30. Yeah, 1 hour 30. Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying. He was in your space?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, great. So I want to wrap it up but collect also your findings and hear what did you discover, and then close the space. What did you find?
I found out I keep an energetic scarves on my body for each relationship, and somehow, and when Martin left, I was touching it, and it felt like I was as I would keep it for more than one lifetime, and it had also kind of part a taste of and the joyfulness. It was transforming into this joyfulness of a gremlin having like hurt. I always felt like there would be a time I'd be hurting people, and then this emotional healing process about that.
Thank you. Thank you. And you said also that you left something in the other person.
I am
You're
there.
not
I'm
sure.
really not sure, because
Mhm.
it felt it would be first thing, but I cannot leave something with other person. But yeah, whatever. There will be a discovery space, another
Yeah.
discovery space. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Anything from you, Tamara, Lisa Maria?
Yeah, I discovered that I put this kind of like cord from my heart to my ex-partner's heart when we first met, to keep us like to keep us connected, to keep like as if we found each other, we're not gonna to not forget each other. Yeah. And it's kind of loose now. It's not tight, but it's still there.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for diving so deep that you could see that. And also when it started when you first met, and it was even related to another life, you said. It's like, I think these bonds are able to be over lifetimes, or get reactivated in this life when we made some decisions in past lives. Tamara, do you
Yeah.
want to share what you?
Yes, I
Cool.
discovered that I have an energetic tube from my heart space, giving my energy, through which my energy goes to my ex-partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, thank you. And I think it's really this journey of now you know that this is still operating, and it might be that there are some emotional healing processes on the way, sexual clean out space process, or relationship clean out space. And then you will know. It's like, okay, now it's the time. Now because the good news is that now you cannot get unaware of it again. You know it. There's a string. Okay, you can pretend that it's not there, but it's there and you know it. It's even recorded. So if you forget, make a reminder on this Worktalk. Yeah. Thank you for diving in this territory, which is also still like a new discovery for me. And thank you for being so honest and vulnerable and going on this journey. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for the space, Christine.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.